Oh, they're spinning.
Oh, Menard up and into Boyer, into the wall. Gets collected by McDowell.
Oh, no.
Keselowski crashes, and more cars are littered at the bottom of the racetrack.
Guys, I think that somebody may have gotten loose and got either into Jimmy Johnson or his car got loose and came down.
Cars get loose getting into 3 all day long.
You can see us.
Ooh.
I don't know. I think that's the 48 as a right front fender. The 24 got close to the left rear, just pushed that air in that left rear and brought it around.
Wow. Gray Galding shoots the middle and makes it.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh.
Alright guys, JB here. How's everybody doing? Just want to say, first off I want to say thanks to all my new subscribers to the channel. I really appreciate it. It's great to be involved in this NASCAR community, talking to people, hearing other people's reviews and videos and other stuff they talk about that involves around NASCAR racing. Really enjoy it, so just want to say thanks. And just want to say, after watching the race today, I looked at a bunch of people's reviews and stuff on the YouTube and places, and obviously NASCAR really messed up again. I've got some of my own opinions on this deal here with NASCAR, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's get to the race, where we got first of all, Joey Logano, congratulations to him for winning the race. He was at the right place at the right time and got it done, whether you like him or not. He done the job. So, but the green flag came out at 2:27 today, and pretty much it was Harvick, Kurt Busch, and Martin Truex. That's that first little run, little thing we had there, and everybody kind of singled out there. Wasn't really much charging, but then again, the cars are running so fast that these restrictor plate races get pretty dangerous, and a lot of people is upset, I guess, because of everybody in the field didn't wreck, but that's just part of racing. But stage 1, Brad Keselowski, the guy I picked to win the race, he won the stage with Logano, Truex, Kyle Busch, Paul Menard, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse, Kevin Harvick, and Jimmy Johnson, getting that 10th place and getting 1 point that he may need by the end of the year, because Jimmy Johnson, for instance, let's go back to Jimmy. Now Jimmy on this wreck, the big wreck that happened, William Byron never touched Jimmy Johnson. Just for instance, for everybody to know that. I know a lot of people was blaming William, but William never touched Jimmy. Jimmy Johnson he just can't drive a loose race car. That's why he always spins these places. And with this new rule package and the stuff they got for restrictor plate racing this year, I think that had a lot to do with the racing today. The high groove, you could not run it because your car was just too loose. You couldn't get say a 5-6 car pack. It was really difficult to do it without the rear end of the car turning around on you. So I don't blame any of the drivers today with so-called bad racing that a lot of people saying, but personally for me, in my opinion on it is, I'd rather see a race where the good cars, the cars that should be running up front, that's the fastest are up there, and they was. The Fords were the fastest cars. Out there, it's clearly that they do have a better aero advantage over the Toyotas and the Chevrolets, but Logano, Keselowski, them guys, they had the best cars. It was just faster than everybody else, and like I said, you couldn't get that 2 groove or 3 grooves going up top. The cars was just too loose. Nobody couldn't drive them. But a lot of people gave this race bad reviews. I thought it was kind of a decent race, in my opinion. Other than you still, I mean, it's almost like a 1.5-mile track. It's like whoever got the lead, you couldn't pass them really. Yeah. Right there at the end, everybody's complaining, why didn't anybody try to make a move or so on. Well, you know, if you're Kevin Harvick sitting there second, you go up high, the chances are you ain't going to get around Logano. I mean, just with the arrow, you can't do it. So he hung down low, and you know, you can't blame him. And finish second or third is a lot better than getting hung up high there and finishing 13th or 14th. So that's just the problem NASCAR's got. If they go back and look back in 1980s, 85, Talladega, stuff like that, if you pulled out behind somebody to pass them, you slingshot them, you got the job done. That's where NASCAR needs to get back to. Get away from the huge packs. Get back the way it was in the 80s, where they would be in 15, 20 car packs like today. But have the aero package where you can actually pull out and pass. Then you're going to see some great racing at Talladega. But overall, I mean, the racing I thought was kind of decent. We had a lot of speeding penalties. Denny Hamlin coming down there way too fast, got 2 times in a row. They were, I think there's only 1 caution that wasn't a wreck or anything today, which I'm so proud of NASCAR are doing. Lately, they have not been throwing out cautions for hamburger wrappers and stuff like that on the racetrack. So I salute them over the past 2 or 3 races by actually not getting 3 to 4 bogus cautions. The Fox Sports itself, the commentary, Mike Joy, is horrible. He's been on there way too many years. I mean, I enjoyed the Saturday that Kevin Harvick and Charge there a lot better. I hate to say Mike Joy needs to go. I mean, he's been around the sport a long time, but he needs to let somebody else come in that booth and take over. Just a change of direction. I mean, you know, once you get 17, 20 years into people, you know, sometimes you need to change with the commercials, after commercials, after commercials. And that's nonstop. And I know a lot of other YouTubers are saying the same thing. The commercials are ridiculous. But over there, I mean, in terms of the racing, I actually kind of like the 14 car packs a little better than I do the 40 car pack, which is going to take out the whole field. And with 20 laps to go, you got 10 cars running for a victory. I would rather see the best cars get to the front. And Trevor Bayne, people's talking about Trevor Bayne, said, oh, well, no wonder he got kicked out of the ride. Him wrecking this and that. Trevor Bayne had nothing to do with that wreck. He was a victim. He got clipped from Eric Jones. And just don't put the fault on Trevor Bayne there. It was not his fault for that. And but anyway, let's look at these results here. Logano wins. Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott finishes 3rd. Good run. Good strategy here at the end. Got him to 3rd. Harvick 4th. Stenhouse 5th. Stenhouse had a strong car. David Reagan. Remember I told you guys in my picks video. I said if you want a great fantasy driver, you're going to be able to put in there to get you a great run. David Reagan is the man. And finishes 6th. Eric Almirola, Bowman, Newman, Suarez 10th. Now, out of the top 10, 6 of them was Fords. And that proves, I mean, they just hung together, they stayed together. They done great as a team today, so you got to give them credit for that. Chris Buechler getting 11th. Great run for him. Great run for Chris. He deserved that. And Casey Kane getting the 17th, top 20 for Casey. Matt Dedabetto ended up 19th. He could have been a little bit better, but I think he got a little bit of damage there. Martin Truex, McMurray, Paul Menard, for instance. I feel so sorry for Paul Menard. He had, I would say, one of the 3 strongest cars out there, and got took out. And I hate that for Paul. They've had a great opportunity with Brothers to get their 100 victory there. That would have been nice. And then you got Brad Keselowski finishing 33rd on account of the wreck. And Eric Johnson, Kyle Larson, another victim. Larson and Truex has had 3 or 4 really extremely rough weeks. But all this is going to change once we get back here going to, Dover and Kansas and Charlotte and these places. That's going to change back. But Clint Boyer, another car, strong run, finishes 31st. Clint, a great run. But like I said, the racing itself is, don't blame the drivers. I know a lot of people, and you can't, I mean, you got to think about it. These cars are running 204, 205 mile an hour in the draft. It's too fast. They need to cut this deck down to 190, 192. Just redo the aero packages, practice. Take it in the off season. They just need to go down to Talladega and practice until they get this stuff right. Because people's going to complain if the whole field don't wreck. People's going to complain about it. And if you got 10 or 15 car packs, people's going to complain about it. And it's just complaining. Today was kind of a mixture of older school racing and what they used to run years ago. Even with the two-car tandem back in 7-8 years ago, people hated it. It was like, well, it's just 2 cars running together, ain't no fun, which I agree with that, but restrictor plate racing's kind of a mess. That's what I'm saying. You could take a race car out there it's got 30 less horsepower, and with the draft, they're going to be able to run and compete and, end up with a good run, so. But Joe Logano wins it and advances himself into the playoffs here. If Tech goes great, we'll see. We'll see what happens after the inspection and stuff this weekend, and because that team has been known before to pull stuff. Like I said, just don't know about the Fords. I mean, they just seem to me like they got a slight little advantage in terms of their. Because it don't matter if they got a mile high. Look at Harvick winning 3 in a row. They just got a little bit of advantage. So NASCAR might be able to do something about that. And the Chevrolets are way behind. I know Chase finished 3rd, but we got 1 Chevrolet. Well, we had just 3 in the top 10, but I think we had 4 in the top 15, and we had 1 Toyota in the top 12. So, but Truex had a fast Toyota. I think he would have been in the top 10 there. He wouldn't have won, but if Brad Keselowski hadn't gotten a crash, he would have been in the mix. And I applaud Kurt Busch for what he tried there at the end. I think he tried it too late. He should have done it with 5 or 6 to go to try to put himself in position. Ryan Newman kept trying to get a groove going. Nobody wouldn't go with him. And see, everybody knew if they got in that high groove that it wasn't going to work. So everybody just kind of hung lower and just hope for the best. So, but overall, I'll give that race a 3 out of 5. It was seeing people pit and strategies and stuff. I mean, it was an okay race. I mean, I've seen a lot worse. At least it was cars running. I mean, at least we had a true winner at Talladega instead of Daytona. Daytona was just who was left at the end. And so at least we did get a true winner today. But there we go. Is my Geico 500 results, and we'll catch you guys later.